last article was about some equipment. I can't remember off the top of my head. So yeah, those were 3 links, and then I added a highlight of a member of the Open Podcast community. So the highlight I did was Fajar, and I highlighted his Mango Minutes, his podcast. And so in the future, what I want for the highlight specifically is I want to highlight new members that have a podcast. So every time that week a new member comes to Open Podcast and they have a podcast, I want them to be the highlight of the newsletter that week. But there are no new members, so I just did a current member who had a recent episode. So until new members with podcasts come to the Open Podcast community, I'm going to highlight members that had a new episode. So plenty of people to highlight. Okay. So what I want for the future of the newsletter is I want to design it a little bit. Right now, there's no design. It's just text and links. No color or anything. I would like to add some color, but I haven't given that any real thought. Another thing that I would like to add is I would kind of like to make it funny, and I have to figure out how to do that. Maybe add a joke somewhere. Another thing I haven't really given thought. My real hope is that eventually the newsletter will be Open Podcast content only. So the highlight would be a member of the community, obviously, and then the links would be maybe a blog post from a member of the community, and or like a forum discussion that we had on the website. Yeah. Okay. I didn't like that. Let me. I think I'm gonna scrape this episode. Unless, let me think. Okay. What else could I add? I need more stuff. Once a week on Wednesdays. For now, updates on in the podcast industry. And let me actually remember what the links were. I felt that kind of sounded stupid. I have it right here. Oh. Substack announcement. So the podcast, or the live stream of the podcast will eventually be, it'll be something exclusive, because I might not, there are some episodes, for sure, that I might not actually publish. And so by watching the live streams, you'll get a better look, or like you'll get content that even my podcast listeners don't get. Donation link to show notes. And Darknet Diaries. Okay. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah, open podcasts. How I promoted it. Damn, son. Okay. I tweeted it out because I want new people to subscribe to email list, not current members of the community. Okay. I have to, where, oh, it's this one. Okay. Image, video capture. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Alright, I'm back. Let me just turn the image back on. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna give inspired by... I'm giving the person that inspired the structure of the newsletter credit during the podcast. Okay. Inspired by Neriel. He has links and a description of the article for his newsletter as well. I tweeted it out because I want new people to subscribe to the not current members, and then I did something else. Okay. Let's do future of the newsletter. Add a joke, make it funny, promote open podcast content only. What else do I need to do? Weird. Oh, okay. Need to promote the newsletter. Better. Okay. Need better. Find places to post it. I wonder, could I post it on Hacker News? I don't know. Okay. Why? Tweeted it out because I want new because email list is more inclusive than Telegram. All they need is an email address. No Telegram account needed. Okay, I like this a lot better. So I try to reach at least 10 minutes for every episode, and I think this is 5 minutes and 31 seconds, and I added a bunch of things that make the episode sound better. So this sounds better. I don't have to scrape the episode. I just need to record everything again, which I don't mind. I mind much more that I have to scrape the episode, because I'm having trouble not creating content, but like I'm having trouble writing the content for episodes right now, because I'm going a little out of my depth for some episodes. Like I have this episode about owning content, and talk about why it's better to own your content, such as a newsletter or your own forum, like a community. And I just need to write more for this one. And then also I have another one, this one here, about instead of monetizing your podcast, use it as a lead magnet. and then you use the podcast to charge people for something instead of trying to get sponsorships. And then I have another episode about the history of podcasts, or podcasting, a little bit of both. And right now, what I want to do during the episode is I want to give facts about podcasting. Like the first podcast, as you can see here, first host, and I'm having trouble figuring out what other things I could add. So yeah, but I like this episode a lot more. Let me just add bullet points. Oh, I could add. How do you do it here? Oh, format. At the end, add link to community. How I wrote the newsletter, or how I promoted, and then you're gonna add the format, insert checklist. Email list is more inclusive. And then the people following OP on Twitter are different from the core group on Telegram. Okay, and that's another thing. Oh, no, wrong thing. Okay. Add design. Okay, I have a lot to talk about now. Okay. Cool stuff. Okay. Tells me I'm live 3 times. Okay. Alright. So, now that is over. Also, I didn't say newsletter. For those of you that don't know, if anyone is actually watching, my favorite comedian is Bill Burr, and he talks with a Boston accent. So I always do that, and the Boston accent is, it's like pronouncing your ERs with AH, so it's not newsletter, it's newsletter. Okay, let's, re-record this episode. You suck. Okay, and I don't mind having an episode under 10 minutes, like 9 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm not gonna freak out about that. But like a 5-minute episode, I'm better than that. Right? So, yeah. For now, updates in the podcast industry. So, what is the next? Spotify. Hold on. I'm gonna talk about. Oh, it's this app. God damn it. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna talk about the next newsletter. I would show you. So I have an article about how Netflix is getting into podcasting, and Spotify. Oh, and music. Okay. So Spotify, music, and Netflix. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. So I'll explain later what those 3 are, because I'm going to, do the newsletter in front of you, so I'll talk about them. Okay. let's do this. Hello, and welcome to the Building Indie Business Podcast with Supreme Ram Ham. I'm your host, Alex Edmonds. Today, I wanted to discuss a... No. Where is it? Discuss. Alright. Hello, and welcome to the Building Indie Business Podcast with Supreme Ram Ham. I'm your host, Alex Edmonds. Today, I wanted to discuss the launch of the Open Podcast newsletter. I want to discuss what is the current form of the newsletter, how I promoted the newsletter, the future of the newsletter, and what inspired me in the current design of the newsletter. Okay, so let's get into it. I sent the very first newsletter on January 8th. The name of the newsletter is The Soundwave, and I named it The Soundwave because the San Francisco music movement in the 1960s was called the San Francisco Soundwave, and I listened to a lot of these bands such as Fleetwood Mac, the Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane. So in honor of the San Francisco Soundwave, I named the podcast The Soundwave. Okay. And the current form of the newsletter is I send it out once a week on Wednesday, once a week for now. And it's 3 links from the podcast industry in the past week since I created the newsletter. And it's one highlight of a member in the podcast or in the Open Podcast community. So it's either a new member of the Open Podcast community that has a podcast, or it's a member of the community that had a new episode. So the January 8th episode, it contained a link to an announcement on Twitter from the company Substack, and they announced that they will be getting into podcast hosting. So if you are starting a podcast and need a host, you can check out Substack. The next link was a link that showed you how to add donations to your show notes. This is because podcast players such as Overcast, they have a button that their listeners can press, and it'll link you, or it'll link them to a donation page for the podcast that they're listening to. The final link was a link to a blog post from the host of Darknet Diaries talking about how they grew the podcast in 2019 and what they did, and more details. And I highlighted Fajar and Mango Minutes, and then I wrote a short description of the episode that was most recent for his podcast. And I only did 3 links because I want to keep it short so that people don't get overwhelmed by the amount of content that is in the email list. And then, in the newsletter, not the email list. And then at the end of everything, I added a link to the community and a link to the list. Short and simple. How I promoted the newsletter is I tweeted it out. And the reason I tweeted it out because the people that follow the Open Podcast Twitter account and the Telegram account, people in the Twitter and the Telegram are different people, and I want new people to see newsletter, not the core members of the Open Podcast community. So I want to bring people on Twitter to the newsletter. Okay. And why I want to do that is because an email list is more inclusive than Telegram. And this is because for the email list, all they need is an email to sign up for it. And if they want to join the Telegram chat, they have to create a Telegram account. So the email list is less steps to join the community. Yeah. So the email, or like the setup of the newsletter, it was inspired by Nirael and his newsletter, and it's very similar looking to the Open Podcast newsletter. I also want the future. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the future of the newsletter. So, the very first thing I need to do to improve the newsletter is promote it more and promote it better. I need to find places to post the newsletter, and this is because the purpose of the newsletter is to bring in people to the community. And if I don't promote it better, then people won't come to the community, which the more people in the Open Podcast community, the better. Okay. The way I designed the newsletter, why I used Nirael's design, is because I want to be able to insert ads into the newsletter, or links to promoted to sponsored content. And so by having it simply be links and descriptions, I could very easily insert a sponsored post into the newsletter. So I would like to have someone sponsor the newsletter. So I have to find out where to go to find a sponsor for the newsletter. The next thing I want to do is I want to add a design. I want to add color to it and add like different fonts and colors to the fonts. Because right now the newsletter is just links and basic fonts. Okay. So the next thing I want to add to the newsletter in the future is I want to make it funny in some way. I want to figure out how I could add jokes or something. So yeah, there's that one. And then finally, what I want to do is I want to only promote Open Podcast content. So if a member of the Open Podcast community writes an article, then I want to be able to promote it on the in the newsletter. And then I want to promote maybe like a discussion that the Open Podcast community had on the forum, and that way people in like subscribe to the email list. They can see the interesting conversations that we have on the forum, and they would join the forum theoretically. Okay. That's it. Thank you for listening. You can subscribe to the email list, the email list in the show notes. It's in there. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye. Oh, also, if you would like to, if you are thinking about starting a podcast, but you are nervous to start one, you can come join the Telegram chat, and talk with me. Right now, I am starting a open podcast, community podcast, which will be members of the community hosting a episode for themselves, and this will allow community members who don't have a podcast right now. They're able to get the experience of hosting a podcast without all the hassle of setting it up. So they don't have to find a host. They don't have to promote the episode at all. I will do that for them. What else? They don't have to post their podcast everywhere. I've done all that. All anyone has to do is send me the audio and send me the show notes, what they want in it, and they're done. They get the experience, and people will find out about them. They would gain Twitter followers, maybe a link, or they will get subscribers to their platforms. So yeah, if you want to do that, come join the Telegram chat in the show notes and talk to me about it. We can set something up. Right now, the podcast is unreleased. I'm waiting till maybe 2 to 3 people start or create an episode for it, and then it'll be released. I'm trying to make it a monthly thing. Okay. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye. Boom. 11 minutes. You see right there? I went from 5 to 11. With all these little things. I didn't even mention this one. I completely forgot. Yeah. Alright. So, now it's time to export it as a WAV file. Newsletter launch. No N. I forgot how to spell launch, didn't I? Launch. There's how you spell it. Okay. Supreme Room Pin. Okay. Any questions? I won't answer them right now because I finished most of the things. Where are you? No questions. Okay. I need to do something. I'll be right back. Actually, you can check out my database if you want. Here. This is the Open Podcast database. And these are all the fake users I have right now. Alright, I'm back. So, let's see. Let me turn off the headphones first so I don't have to keep charging them. Okay, headphones are off. Alright, so what is the first thing we do when creating a podcast? Or at least live streaming a podcast? That's right. We turn it into a video first. Okay. And this is the newsletter launch. Let me see. Newsletter launch. Okay. So. Okay, so we're adding the image. YouTube thumbnail. Okay, and the reason why my YouTube thumbnail is blue, but my podcast stuff is red, or my podcast cover art is red, is because, why did I do that? Oh, because YouTube is red. It's red everywhere. So, alright, let me start over. Almost 2.5 listens. Okay. Yeah. So, red stands out everywhere except YouTube, because YouTube is red, so red won't stand out. So I use blue because the blue will stand out on YouTube. Okay. So okay. Hey, I almost sang. Yeah. So the reason why I point that out is because when I sing, that's when you know I'm really comfortable. Okay. Okay. Let me go to MailChimp because we are creating the newsletter. Okay. Okay. I remember the email password. Long time ago. Where did Alex go? Okay. Campaigns. Yeah, dude, I don't know where to post the newsletter, because it's just links. It's not like I wrote an article. Oh, that's what I could show you guys as well. So I've been writing because apparently every time I write an article, people come to the community. So I'm gonna start writing more. Actually, I've started to write more. Wrong thing to say. Okay. And then view email. From Alex. Okay. I have to see view report. I just want to see what I put in the links activity subject. Okay. Where is... I don't remember. Oh, I have it on my phone. I'm trying to see, like, what I put in the from. Alex of the open. I forgot the. Alex of the open podcast community. Okay. And then I just put Supreme Rum Ham as the email relay. Okay. Good enough for me. Add subject. Number 2. Oh, I should put... Hold on. I'm going to put a mic stand, or a mic, in the Wait, how much? Yeah. So the reason I'm going to put a mic stand is because the snippet will appear. Get your dose of weekly podcast industry news. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep it like that. So the reason why I do the emoji, or I just thought of to do the emoji, is because colorful things will stand out in your inbox because there's no color in your inbox. So, when you put something with like if this was yellow, actually, that would really stand out in someone's inbox, like at the very least on their phone. So, yeah, I just thought of that just now. Okay, and I'm going to save this as a template. Don't forget to save as a template. Long time ago. Okay. I got this. The preview text. I don't think I added any. And then I was like Substack, and then it was like okay. Okay. And then, so, I don't know how long I've been streaming for, but last week I streamed for an hour 45, almost 2 hours, and this stream should be not as long because I actually know what I'm doing. Hi. Okay. Apparently I don't know what I'm doing. What font is this? Okay, let me just rewrite this then. Long time ago. I hope you are having a good week. Here is your summary of updates. So I was wondering if it was in the podcast industry or from the podcast industry. I don't know. Alright. No one's watching the stream. Okay. So I can say or do whatever I want. Good. Yeah, I'm not good at promoting in the podcast industry. So I don't really promote these, so no one watches them. Yeah, ironic because I was a marketing major in college and I have a marketing degree. You'd think I'd be better at it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, shows you the value of college, I guess. I don't know. Okay. The reason why I was on Twitter is because before I streamed, I saw a article that I liked, and I liked it literally on Twitter. Here it is. So this guy had an opinion about Spotify becoming the place to be for podcasting. Okay. So now I have to remember what he said. Oh, Spotify is becoming the YouTube for podcasting. Okay. Okay. So Spotify is becoming the YouTube for podcasting. And then what did I think I did like a little... Okay. Long time ago. Okay, it's YouTube for podcasting. And then I just said like... Let me go a take on Spotify and their podcasting announcement. I can't spell announcement properly this week. Did I spell Spotify wrong? Okay, no, I didn't. MailChimp just thinks I did. Oh, and then you gotta highlight it, I think. And then the address is here. So then long time ago. Okay, and then wait a second. Okay, I think that's okay. And then I take on Spotify and their podcasting announcement this week. Okay, I can deal with that. What's the next one? Articles. I don't need this one. Oh, no, I don't need this one. I don't need this one. It's this one. I don't remember. Okay. So we're looking at it. That's what I don't like about Twitter and grabbing links from Twitter, is that they make it about themselves. Okay. Yeah. Not this one either. Oh, the one about... I like this one. It's about Netflix and there. See, you can see it's about Twitter. They're like, oh, you got this impression from Twitter. Okay. Anyways, that one is about Netflix and how they're getting into podcasting. They're not getting it, but like they've been podcasting lately. Like there's a podcast that okay, there's a podcast about the making of The Irishman, which is a movie that they produced, and there's a podcast that is about comedy. So every comedian who has a Netflix special goes on the podcast and they're just branching out into podcasting, which I don't mind, but whatever. How to use commercial music in your podcast. How to use commercial music in your podcast. Okay, and then a guide to using music in your podcast. The fact that there's like you need a guide or like someone to write an article about how to use music in your podcast is exactly why I don't use music in my podcast. Because it's just another thing that I have to do and I have to keep track of, and I don't want to do that. Because if I'm going to be focusing on little things, then it's going to distract from the actual content of my podcast, and I don't want that to happen. So, yeah. Fun fact. What's the last thing? Oh. This one. Twitter. Okay. Yeah. There's this one. Netflix is getting a behind-the-scenes podcast. Netflix, okay. Yeah, that's, it's very similar to the I forgot the headline. Netflix's The Witcher. I haven't seen that because I'm trying not to watch TV, even though I still do. Netflix's. See, look, it auto-corrected my Netflix misspelling. Why doesn't it do that for Spotify? It tells me that Spotify is spelled wrong. Oh, I haven't uploaded. Okay, I can't spell Witcher today. Alright, so just let's add that to the list. The Witcher. Adding it to the list of things I can't spell today. So, yeah. Just getting a scenes podcast. Netflix. Whoa. Weird. Netflix is adding a new podcast to their Netflix is using podcasting to promote their content. Yeah. What else? Something about this one, this exact article. Giving viewers a behind the scenes look at how their favorite new show was created. Okay, now I'm thinking about who am I gonna highlight. Okay. Oh, I know. It's a secret. I always wonder, does my audio sound better when I'm mid-podcast, or does it sound better now? Because mid-podcast, I'm like facing the mic, and then right now, I'm like not, like it's not, like over here is my mic, and over here is where I'm talking. So I'm not talking directly into the mic. I wonder. Okay. Viewers. I always get so nervous when I'm like about to release content. I'm always worried about spelling errors or missing something. Open podcast community member highlight. I have to remember. Okay. Okay. So if you haven't checked out Software Engineering Unlocked, which is the one I'm going to highlight in this episode, check it out. Let me see. Okay. So many things to consider. Oh, wrong. Okay. Anyways, I'm really worried about spelling errors every time I release content. I'm worried about, just mostly spelling or like pronouncing something wrong, especially names. Always worried about that. So like, right now it's Friday where I'm creating this, but on Tuesday I'm gonna give it a 1-over, and just to make sure there's nothing here that's spelled wrong or anything, even though I know there isn't, probably, but you never know. Sorry, I can't write when I don't know what I'm gonna write about. So that's why I'm silent right now. Okay. This episode. Let me see. In this episode, I talked to Charlie Jurad, who recently switched from the software consultancy ThoughtWorks to product company Atlassian. She now works on Jira, the planning, the bug tracking software, and the code base of several million lines of code. We talk about her experience working at Atlassian, the software engineering practices used at. Okay. This episode is an interview with Charlie Jared. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, so I try not to pronounce it. Jared, about her experience working at working on Jira. And Atlassian, that's how you pronounce it. See, I didn't remember. I didn't figure out how to pronounce it. I remembered hearing someone else pronounce it. Yeah, I'm super smart. Okay. And then link. So I'm going to talk about I think I talked about this last week, and I'll probably talk about it every week of my life, that I host a podcast or host a live stream where you can see what I'm doing. But I love Simplenote. It makes my life so much easier. I'm able to take something from my phone and then put it on my computer without a lot of processing. So I have the Simplenote app on my phone, and I put the link on Simplenote, and then like 10 seconds later, here it is on the Simplenote desktop app. Pretty cool, right? Okay. Have a great week. Not you, people in the newsletter. But you can also have a great week. But don't leave me right now. If there's anyone listening. Is there any questions? No. There is no one watching. Have a great week. Only one exclamation point. If you know me really well, you know that I use double exclamation points every time I type something, pretty much. So to use one, it feels weird. But I don't know, it's more professional, I guess. And so, yeah. Hold on. I'll be back. Give me a second. Oh, I never turned it back on. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off for a second. Alright, I'm back. So, pretty much every time I stream, and I stream for long times, something happens. Someone rings the doorbell. I forget something. It's mostly me forgetting something, or like refilling my water. So yeah, that's why I'm leaving sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, okay. That's all I have to say about that. Oh, and then after I do this, I still didn't download or upload the episode, so I'm going to do that next. And then I think I'm done after that. I don't know if the email came through for whatever you call it. It's 10:46. Ooh. Yeah, it just came through about at 11:47. So 47 of wherever you are. It's a long time. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so this is what I didn't add during the live stream last week. This is what I added on Tuesday. This thing right here. So I added a link to the Open Podcast community, the Telegram chat specifically, and then I added a link to the sign up page for the newsletter, because the newsletter is to promote the newsletter. So it's good to promote the newsletter on the newsletter. You know what I mean? Does that even make sense to you? And notice how I don't say anything about myself. By the Open Podcast community. Actually, I stole this idea from Justin Jackson. Shout out. He is a member of the Open Podcast community, and he has inspired a lot of my work. Because mailing list here. I probably wouldn't have a podcast without him, because I remember I bought the mic I have right now, the mic that I'm using, in October of 2018. And then I would practice. All this time I was practicing from October to March. February, actually. And then I remember listening to one of his Mega Maker episodes, and it got me really pumped. So I just recorded 3 episodes that, like, 20 minutes, maybe, let's say an hour after I listened to his episode on Mega Maker, his Mega Maker podcast. And then the rest is history. Not history. It's very current, because it just happened, to me at least. So, yeah, he inspired that. And then he talks about a lot about, like, building a community. So I was working on a podcast directly before this. And then I told Fajar, and he wanted to ask me about, like, how, like, things about podcasting. So we started Open Podcast on Telegram. And it was never supposed to be anything more than just that Telegram group. Right? And then, I don't know. Oh yeah. And then the podcast director didn't really work out. Things happen. I couldn't figure out how to put my data and the Apple's API together to like work together. So I abandoned that idea. It was too much for me. And then so I decided to build an Open Podcast. And yeah. Here we are. Do you guys want a sneak preview of Open Podcast? First, I think we're good here. Yeah. First, we're gonna upload the episode, and then I'm gonna give you guys a sneak preview. I know you want it. Okay. So the mistake I was making last time was I kept putting PM here instead of AM. So, yeah. That was my mistake from last week. Okay. Yeah, I just left this here and I completely forgot about it. Oh, because I started talking about the newsletter. As I said last week, I get the newsletter launch. I get my show notes from just last week's episode. So yeah, I have to grab that. It's not even last week's episode, it's like the episode 3 weeks from now. But whatever the most recent podcast episode is, that's where I get my show notes from. Hanging out down the street. Okay. Yeah, forget. That was a close one. Luckily, I remember things. Okay. Switch to HTML. Is there any way I can automate the show notes? The launch of the newsletter. Okay, you guys want let's do sign up for the newsletter here. Oh, and I forgot to mention that now that I've been writing a lot, I'm going to add my own articles to the newsletter. So right now, I what do I do? Oh yeah, I take my articles. Oh yeah, right now, I take my podcast episodes and I turn them into articles, right? So I will put those articles in the newsletter because they're updates on the podcast industry, right? So yeah, why not add them? Okay, yeah, that's the best I can do. Okay, yeah. Solo podcasting, you're done. Last week, the one I recorded last week, that's what that is. Okay. I sign up for the newsletter here, add that to the yeah, so I think, after this, and then I'm gonna add it to YouTube, which I should probably start now. Yeah, let's start that now. Oh, wait, I haven't even downloaded it. Okay. Projects. Friday. Okay. Yeah, so I gotta go to my email. Gmail. What is this YouTube thing? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's telling me I'm live. Like, I don't know that. Okay. So go to video. Download. Yeah, I don't care what you open it with. Just do as I say. Okay. Dude. Okay. And then upload video. Hey, you can see me. I was live. I still am. Oh my god. I don't know what I'm saying. You know what I like? I like that. Oh, it's not downloaded yet, I don't think. Yeah, still have a couple seconds. It's a couple seconds. Okay. Do you remember in the early 2000s when the time left would be like 10, like a decade? Yeah. I barely remember that. I was 4 in 2000. I started to use a computer in like 2000, 2001 when I could read. I can still read. I meant when I started to learn how to read. See, I can read. No, it's not made for kids. No age restriction. No. You can embed. Okay. Next. Publish now. Well, this is the 27th episode, or the January 27th episode. 12 a.m. What about... Okay, this is what I was looking for just now. Scalero. Hello. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Last week I told you that I might get a job at Scalero, a San Francisco company. And they got back to me on Monday. Didn't get the job. They went with someone with more experience. No surprise there. Actually, that was kind of surprising. They reached out to me, and then they had me do like a day's worth of work, which is kind of annoying because it's a lot, especially when you don't get the job. And then they reached out to me, so that's another thing. And then they go with someone with more experience. It's kind of annoying. So yeah, didn't get that job. So, I mean, I've been applying to jobs, but yeah, I was hoping for that one. Even though it was in San Francisco, I didn't like that. That's 60 miles away from me. I'm in San Jose. So, and I don't drive. So, yeah, that'd be kind of a hike. It's a 3-hour commute. and I'd have to take 3 different transit agencies. I'd have to take my bus, the San Jose bus, not my bus. I don't own a bus. I wish I did, though, not gonna lie. That'd be cool. Anyways, so I'd have to take San Jose's bus, the transit, the train, and then I'd have to take San Francisco's bus. And so I'd have to pay every month for the 3 different transit agencies instead of just having one transit agency. And that was about like $250 a month. That's assuming that I'd go there 3 days a week, because the monthly pass for the train was like $200 a month. And yeah, it'd be cheaper for me just to buy like a daily pass every day, every time I went into the office. And they wanted me to go in 3 days a week. So that's $10, $10 times those. So 30 times 4, that's 120. And if it was 5 days a week, it'd be 200. So only in that case would the monthly pass for the train be worth it. Yeah. All of this math I figured out. Oh, and there was, yeah, it's cheaper than driving, but still, because the office was like 2 miles away from Oracle Park, which is where the San Francisco Giants play. And they tend to hike up parking. And even though the office was 2 miles away, you never know. They could still try to, try to get you. At the very least, is the word I would use. So, yeah. Let's go link to the website. I don't care about the Twitter account anymore because I have the Open Podcast Twitter account. Email, yeah, you can email me. Personal website, blog. Join the email list. I'll send the episodes directly to your inbox. So this right here is my personal inbox. Not my personal inbox, but like, the podcast email list. So when I talk about creating an email list for the podcast, that's mine for the podcast. So where is it? So when you see audience, it was right here. So building an indie business, that link, wherever it is, this link right here, that's this audience. And then this audience is my personal one for anything related to me. And so what this is basically is I will send you every time I write an article. And I have this all automated on MailChimp, which is the only reason I don't leave MailChimp, pretty much. Okay. I think this is it. I don't have anything else. It's published, ready to go. Show notes, sign up for the newsletter, link to the Telegram chat, link to the website, email me any questions. Yeah, my throat's starting to hurt. Okay. Did I miss anything? Does anyone have any questions for me? No. Still no one watching. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I would say thank you for watching, but no one is. But, yeah. sign up for the newsletter. Watch out for... Wait. Sign up for the newsletter. Come join the Telegram chat. I am almost done with the forum. I got a couple more days left. I want to add a feature. Honestly, the next episode might be the forum launch. I don't know yet. Maybe. Alright. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.